Real estate or stocks? Which wins in 2026?
Good to be
Welcome
back.
to Couple Real Estate. The money doesn't go to the smartest person in the room. It goes to the fastest one. The challenges of the market right now. Most people that are trying to break into the real estate industry, they're making the same mistake over and over and over again. Successful real estate investors don't wait for the market to change. They change with the market. I'll wait for some people to join in on Facebook, and then we have a very interesting topic today. This is Couple Real Estate, sponsored by HML Investments, and eventually it's all about real estate. But a lot of questions have been coming to my messenger like in the past a couple of weeks. And that's why I wanted to talk about it today, because everybody's saying, why would I invest in real estate? They don't want to invest in real estate anymore because they see the stocks are moving so rapidly and people are making a lot of money, including myself, right? Like I'm investing in stocks, but I believe in diversification. So you like to diversify your portfolio in order to take less risk and to diversify the risk, because if something goes wrong with one stock or one property that you purchased, at least you can fall back on something else. So let's talk first of all about you. You are the investor. You, before you make a decision if you want to invest in stocks or in real estate, you got to do some homework about yourself, because you want to check your tolerance level and what type of investor you are to figure out actually, what you really want to invest in. Like, can you lose $100,000 in one day or not? Because that's what's happening in the stock market. If you not a lot of people, they build for the stock market. Some people, when they lose like $10 or $100 in the stock market, they can lose their mind. But you know what? I lost one time in like 2 days, I think, over $1 million in the stock market. It didn't destroy my life. And not because I have money, because it's a lot of money to lose over $1 million. It's always like 1.3 million or something like that. And it's a lot of money. But you know what? When your tolerance level is so high and you used to take risks because you opt for the challenge, you understand clearly that you dare to play the game for good and bad, then you stay, play the game, and you understand that if you lose everything, then you took the risk. So once you understand what type of investor you are, then you can understand if you're willing to take this high risk of playing with the stock market, because the stock market is literally like a casino. It's funny to say that, but people that know me, I've been playing poker for a long time, so I lost a lot of money. I made a lot of money, but the part where I lost money taught me more than winning money, because when you lose, there is some kind of like an emotion vibe within yourself that can destroy you completely. In 2008, when the market crashed with all the mortgages and everything, I'm in mortgages, right? So I lost a lot of money. I lost almost everything, actually everything I had. I lost everything to the penny. And I didn't know how to digest it because my tolerance level was low. I did not play poker. I did not know how to play with the stock market. So I didn't know how it is to lose millions of dollars. And because of that, it took me like 3 years or 4 years to kind of like get myself together and now start to play the game again. So when you understand what type of investor you are, then you understand yourself if it's good for you to play the stock market or not. In 2026, the projection is that real estate will still stable. It's good for inflation because you don't know what's really going to happen with the market. It's good because you're going to have stable income. If you're looking for stable income, you're looking for stability in your life, real estate is clearly your next investment. You cannot invest in the stocks if you do that, you know. So the stock market right now, you're probably noticing all those AI companies, all those innovations, and Bitcoin. Great, some people made very good money in Bitcoin the past year. But you know what? I don't know if you noticed. 2 weeks ago, Bitcoin was like $125,000. Everybody said, "Oh my God, it's gonna get to 150 by next week," and now it's $102,000. Which people that invested money when it was 120 and it dropped to 115, and they put more money, and they dropped to 110 and they put more money, they lost a lot of money, and now they need to sit with themselves and kind of like pray that it's going to go back to 120, 125, or maybe 150 if they can make more money. But they need to get their money back. In real estate, it doesn't happen. If you don't have the tolerance level of losing literally $100,000 in one day, because it can happen if you're investing this kind of money, in real estate, it's not going to happen. In real estate, you literally building yourself. So I own buildings. I built, if you're following me, so you see that, I develop with HML Investments. We develop a lot of apartment buildings. I own some of my own apartment buildings. I own some residential properties, but then I own a lot of stocks too. So I love AI. I like Bitcoin, but I don't invest in Bitcoin as much as I should. I think I should maybe invest more because everybody's telling me to. But the past couple of weeks, I think I was down like maybe 150 or $200,000. I'm thinking long term. I'm not thinking short term. Even though I can tolerate the level of like losing $150,000 just like that, but I'm thinking in the long term, I'm gonna get my money back because AI is here to stay and AI will change the world. But some investors, they can't tolerate this fact that they lost $150,000, in a week, because the past couple of weeks the market literally crashed. Like it went so low. Every day I see it 5%, 6%, 8%. I was like, oh my God. I start getting kind of like a headache. I was like, what's going to happen here? Why did I buy 2 weeks ago? Why did I buy 3 weeks ago? I want to buy right now when it's low. But then what is low? Because right now, let's say you buy a stock for $40, okay, a stock, and then you think it's low because 2 weeks ago it was $60, but next week it's going to be $20. You see the fluctuations here. You're talking about, you need to really control your emotions, your mind. You need to be very strong. You need to have some cushion. Because if you're going to lose everything, you need to make sure that at least you have something left. You can't just gamble your whole life on a stock and pray that it's going to go somewhere and it doesn't go anywhere and then you're screwed. You can't do that. That's why it's important to diversify your portfolio. So for 2026, I do recommend to invest in stocks. I do recommend AI, like NVIDIA, and, you know, ARM, like, there's different stocks that I'm invested in that I like them myself. Um, AI is really, really good. Bitcoin is not as good, but my recommendation is if you buy those stocks, just stay for the long term. Stay, like, the plan is the next couple of years, because if you're going to buy and sell every day because it moves so fast, because that's what's going to happen, it can move 50% up and 50% down, 100% up, 100% down. You can't make decisions by looking at it every day. Just buy, unless if you do that for a living, right? Because you have those professionals, those people in Wall Street. They know exactly what's going on. They know exactly where it moves, when it moves, and how much it's going to move, to the left, to the right. I don't know how they do that, but they know how to do it. Like, I know real estate, they know stocks. You don't know. If you, in real estate, if you're an investor that don't know much about stocks, I believe that if you want to get into it, just do what I do. Just invest long term. 2 years, 3 years, Just put the money there, and that's diversifying your portfolio. Don't buy just one stock. Buy maybe an index. Index is really good because index, the fluctuation is very minimal, 0.2%, 0.5%, 0.4%. If you really want to make money and your tolerance level is high, like myself, then you buy like 10, 15, 20 stocks. Like I love AI, so I invest like, yeah, I diversify all the AI stocks. And I invest like, $40,000, $50,000 on each, $100,000 on each. I'm kind of like, I'm trying to put all my eggs in like different baskets, completely different baskets. So if one gonna crash and gonna break, I'm still gonna stay alive. But eventually, real estate is gonna be the smartest investment you're gonna do for yourself. If the market will crash, real estate will stay. If your stock's gonna go really low and you need the money, you need to cash out, you can't cash out now because you lost all your money. In real estate, it's not going to happen. In real estate, things are more stable. It's long term. You buy a property for $1 million, you know that you're going to make, let's say, $8,000 a month or $7,000 a month. You know that this is your income. You're going to live by this income. You're going to manage, let's say, 10, 15, 20 apartments, like that, or condos or houses or whatever you want to do. You know that you have X amount of money coming in. That's the money that you have to live by. So maybe some days you're not gonna go out to fancy restaurants every night, but then some days you're gonna go to very nice restaurants because now your tenants, some tenants moved out, new tenants walked in, you increased the rents, you rehabbed a little bit, you made some money. Great. It's always, if you're thinking about it, like historically thinking about it, right? In real estate, it's always going up. It's always going up. Even when it crashes down, like in 2008, real estate market was, wow, zero. Like people literally gave properties for free. Just take the property, just take the mortgage away from me. But eventually, those people that didn't get rid of their properties, eventually they made money. They won. Maybe it took like 6, 7 years, 8 years for them to win, but eventually they were winners. Those people that invested in the stock market in 2008, on the other hand, they didn't win anything. They lost all their money. Most of their money just vanished completely. Some stocks just stay there for the long term, but if you look today at the stocks that are out there, like AI, like in 2008, who was thinking about AI? Nobody was thinking about it. AI literally took the world, completely. So if you're asking for a recommendation from me, I'm not a professional in the stock market, but I invest in the stock market and I'm making good money in the stock market, and I do recommend you to do that as long as you understand your tolerance level as an investor. You understand exactly what type of investor you are, if you're a conservative investor or if you're willing to take a shot, because not a lot of investors are willing to take the shot. If you're willing to take a shot, I highly recommend you to invest in some AI stocks. But then on the other hand, I highly, highly recommend you to start leveraging and scaling in real estate, buying more real estate, investing in, if you want to flip some properties just to scale your business and make more money, great. I personally believe that that you should buy and hold, and use the money that you get from the income to build yourself, to live with it, and then the equity, it's going to build you to get more, bigger, better. That's how you become a bigger investor, a better investor. That's how I started my career. I didn't start it in stocks, but as I grew with real estate, I started diversifying and entering stocks. But if you're the type of investor that don't have that kind of cash that you want to play with, that you can lose $10,000 here, $30,000 there, then real estate is your best investment, period. Not just in 2026, but in your whole entire life, okay? For the next like 30, 40 years for sure, okay? But invest in stocks, buy AI stocks, and if you need some help with hard money to buy some real estate because you are thinking smart about your future, you want to scale your business slowly and surely, then you listen to Ed Couple Real Estate and follow us. We're sponsored by HML Investments. We're here to make you better real estate investors. Let's razz it up.